Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? It is Cracking Nation here, coming out with a postcom of our Week 4 match, which I unfortunately, due to some Wi-Fi struggles, was not able to record live. I had to actually go to a different building to play this match. But yeah, so we are here with our Week 4 match. Of course, it's the Boston Bisharps versus Day Monster and the Los Angeles Critdras. We have played him, I think, 4 times now within the past 2 seasons. This season and last season. And it's only Week 4 of the season. We've played this guy a lot. He had a pretty cool draft going in, but we brought a pretty cool team. We got DD Ments with, I think it was Stone Edge or Rock. It was maybe Rock Slide. I don't know. Rock Move, Fly, and Earthquake. We've got Avalug with Earthquake and Avalanche and Rapid Spin Recover. We got a Physical Tornadus, Scarf, but with Rocks, Metagross, a Solid Vest, Magirna, and a Silk Scarf Slacking. So we're going to start watching this game, and I'm going to go through with you guys as it goes. So right here, I decided to leave Metagross right off the bat, just because Metagross definitely matched up well against a majority of these Pokemon. If you wanted to lead with Mimikyu, which he has played super aggressively with Mimikyu, as you'll see in the past, in this game as well as in the past, I knew I would be able to match up well, and at least put pressure on it. Also, if you wanted to lead with Buzzwole, I would immediately get to know at least part of his set, which we quickly saw as he takes his turn. I end up clicking Stealth Rocks because he has no Defogger here, and he didn't lead Absol. So basically this is my one chance to get Rocks up, and Rocks ended up being quite important in the grand scheme of things. So he ended up taking the Earthquake, and we take that Earthquake pretty well because we are actually a decent amount of investment into HP, and we get up our Rocks. Here, obviously, he is Scarf, because I am Scarf Metagross, so I know he must be Scarf Buzzwole. And I take this chance to switch into my, I believe it was Tornadus, Therian, because obviously I get the chance to miss the, avoid the Earthquake. And this is a turn that was definitely unfortunate on his part, because I do click Knockoff and I do achieve a crit. And it puts this thing in the ground, which I was really not expecting. Obviously, it's unfortunate. I don't know what this thing would have done to me that would have done that much if he was as bulky as he claims to have been, but also if he was as bulky as he claims to have been, that would not have killed. He must not have been, very much bulk investment. But he goes out into Thunders here, and I am willing to take the risk that he is not running a dual Scarf from Buzzwole and Electivire, mostly because those are two very similar Pokemon in a lot of the things that they do. They're both just physical, punchy Pokemon with middling speed tiers and, I don't know, decent coverage. So I didn't think he would run both of them as Scarf. It didn't really give him a lot. He might as well just always use Buzzwole. It's Electivire just almost inferior as a Scarf in every way imaginable. So I clicked U-turn here, and I got off a lot of damage with the U-turn, and I ended up switching out into my Slacking, which immediately puts on a lot of pressure, and he does click the Volt Switch here, so Slacking does take a bit of chip damage, and he goes into Mimikyu, which is definitely an interesting play on his part. Buzzwole was probably the ideal play, but he goes into Mimikyu, and I'm able to just click Shadow Claw and break this thing's disguise right at the bat, which is what I really wanted to do, and if nothing else, Slacking was able to do that. Obviously, I end up Truanting next turn, and he gets up an SD. So he does click Play Rough, and I do end up living, and I actually am not able to capitalize because I'm Truant, obviously. He switches out back into Buzzwole to eat up this Shadow Claw. Decent play on his part, because obviously Buzzwole is actually very physically defensive, and I cannot do a lot of damage. And I just end up having to sack this thing off because I didn't want to take any risks about what I was or was not going to switch into it. It could click any move it wanted, so there was just no way I could know what to switch in. So I just sacked it off, and I went into Magirna here. Obviously, Magirna, knowing he's Scarf, he can't click Ice Punch again. I just clicked the Aura Sphere, knowing he's going to switch out into something that can take almost exclusively Heatran. I click Aura Sphere, and he uses Chople Berry, which is definitely very cool. However, this is where he makes another very key mistake, as he tries to set up. At this point, it does not look like late game, right? But the game was over here with this. This was a very pivotal moment. The game was over here because he took a turn. This is not late game. It doesn't. At least it doesn't look like it. But I would call this late game after the result, the play he made. He went for what I would call late game rocks. And at this point in the match, even if you click Lava Plume was a 3-hit KO, I believe, because I'm Assault Vest Magirna with a decent amount of bulk. But I'm able to just click Aura Sphere a bunch of times, and he makes a very intense series of misplays that kind of make this end up being the end of the game. Magirna is able to. This is not even a shift gear Magirna, but he ends up going into Mimikyu for the to avoid the Aura Sphere and keep his Heatran alive for whatever reason. Because if you haven't realized, Heatran dies like my whole team right now. He avoids that, but then takes this chance to set up Swords Dance, which was an intense misplay. There's obviously no way I'm not going to be able to kill this thing with a Flash Cannon. He should have known that he shouldn't have assumed I wasn't going to run Flash Cannon. And then obviously from there I get the +1, and I can now kill everything in this team in one hit. If I want to. Here he really should have gone into Electivire. I guess he didn't know I was Assault Vest. But he definitely knew I wasn't still. He might have thought I was like Scarf or something at first when I kept clicking Aura Sphere, but he knew I wasn't Scarf anymore. He can't know I'm Assault Vest for sure because he hasn't hit me yet. But he really, the play should have been Electivire. Hopefully clicking Earthquake. Yeah, this was or even Buzzwole, because this obviously was not going to be able to. I guess he didn't know I was Fire Blast in his defense. But he clicks Fire Blast with his Absol, and I'm able to eat that up, and does like 40%, 39 I think. And I'm able to just bop him with an Aura Sphere, and just get my special attack up even higher. Now he really messes up. Well, he doesn't really mess up, but he goes into Buzzwole, and the game is over here because I really wanted to make the play and go into Mence. And get up this EQ, but I realized if I went into Mence, I have to play games around Buzzwole. If he ends up making the correct prediction on me going out into Mence, and if I went for the 5 and got greedy, I have to play games around Buzzwole the rest of the game because it has the potential to OHKO literally my whole team if it's spamming the right move. So if Mence died, I died, and that was really what I wanted to avoid. So I had to definitely play more carefully, and so I just decided I'm just going to settle for the 4-0, not going to be greedy, and I end up letting Magirna die, and this lets Mence come in on the Earthquake after I see what move it goes. And Mence is able to get up in Dragon Dance as he ends up switching out, obviously, and Mence just straight up sweeps with Fly and Earthquake from there. So that is that game. Gonna be honest, he did make a couple of very key misplays throughout the match. Definitely some stuff he can try to improve on in the future, so I wouldn't count him out this season, obviously, just yet. But we were able to go off. This is the second week I've brought Dragon Dance Salamence, so it was exciting to see that he got to put in some work this time around. This might actually, no, this was the third week I brought Dragon Dance Salamence. He got to see. I have two really cool like Moxie-esque or I guess Soul Heart sweepers. That's been pretty cool, but overall a good game. Decent amount of prep went into this game. He actually did trade for Slowking right before the match, so that was something I had to think about prepping for. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is always very appreciated. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Kraken Nation out.